This is Andy Coleman with CenterStar. I'm here with Brian Gilmore. It's December the 30th, 2010. We're running a blind test today on two samples Enduron supplied us. Sample A has a paint thickness of 62 mils, more or less. Pretty good consistency. Sample B is about 50 mils thick, and it's got a lot of variation in it. I wish both of them were the same thickness, but we'll still see what we can see. T1 is going to be, A sample will be T3 on our graph, B will be T4. T2 will be the interior on B, T1 will be the interior on A. We're going to start it going. You got it, graphing, Brian?
Yes.
We're going to run it. We'll just come back every couple of minutes on this, and we're gonna what are we gonna keep the interior to? Hope to. I'm gonna match it up about like we had on the last one.
Low as we can.
1,000 to 1,200 degrees along in there. It might peak up to 13. And we're trying to run this thing for an hour. Give us a good graph, and we'll also when we cut it off at an hour, we'll take another 20 minutes of readings as it cools down. That should definitively tell us which panel is which, because our additive should hold heat better. It should reflect heat more, but it should hold longer when we're cooling down. What time are we into the test, Brian?
12 minutes.
All right, we're 12 minutes. The B panel is blistering, looks like to me, and it's getting a lot more heat to the back. A panel is what we got reading, Brian?
T3 is 148, T4 is 210.
210. So I hope B is not our panel.
B's just split.
Splits. B's not doing good. I hope that ain't us. And the interior is running 12 something.
It's about 1346.
All right, you might flap that, take that flap back up, see if that'll.
14 minutes.
We're 14 minutes in. T3 is, which is A panel, is what?
Pardon me?
What's T3?
T3 is 160.
Okay.
T4 is 211.
All right, we got a 211 to 160. We got about a 25% variation, and it'll start showing up more than that, I think. Brian, tell me what you think's happening now, and on our 28 to 30 minute variation that we've noticed.
Well, panel B is starting to climb. It's up to 350. So we actually got a little over 100-degree variance between the two panels.
And about 28 to 30 minutes, the paint without the 100% solid paint without the additive spikes, seems to spike. The increase pretty drastically jumps, and the one with the additive generally cools a little bit. And this is what we've observed with our stuff. That's kind of one other reason we're thinking panel A is the one with our additive. How many minutes are we in now, Brian? Give me a little rundown. What's happening?
We're at 34 minutes.
We're in 34 minutes.
T3 is 249. T4 is 1347. And we're averaging about 1490 interior temp.
And T 346.
say? And T3 is 249.
249, that's real good. And what is T4?
T4 is 345 right now.
Okay, we got 100 degrees, and that's a good 100 degrees, man. All right. Our differential between A and B is increased. What are we looking like now, Brian?
260 and 380.
We're at 260 and 380. So, you know, it's saving 50% of the heat of the low end. We got 120 degree difference on 260. And 260 is really staying in there. That will that's keeping it below the threshold on the A60.
Okay.
How many minutes we in now, Brian?
52 minutes.
52 minutes. We're going. I assume we are going to cut it at 60 minutes, and then we're going to cut the forge off at 60.
We're at 284 and 416.
284, 416. So we continue on. We're keeping on down on the close to the threshold on the A panel, and it's still increasing on the other. So it's good things, boys. We should be what are we, about 55 minutes now, Brian?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's run through the T1, 2, 3, and 4.
T3 is 269, T4 is 387,
269, 387. That's A panel, B panel.
T1 is 1542, and T2 is 1507.
1542, 1507 are interior temps. We're knocking a lot of temperature down. And that's at 55 minutes. We're going to run to 60 minutes and cut the forge off, and then we're going to watch the cooling. We're at 272 on A, 417 on B. Intended to have a greater
We're at 57 minutes.
57 minutes.
Now we got a spread of 271 and 421.
271, 421. I believe that's 150 degrees there. That's over 50% savings off the lower number. Terry, you good with Brian? Give me kind of a wrap up and kind of your impressions. And
We're at an hour. I'm going to shut it off. T3 is at 284. T4 is at 400.
284 and 400. Brian, tell me about the flame up that the B panel, and we think that's the one without the additive, caught fire above the forge, and that eventually spread to the A panel.
Well, the B panel split and allowed the heat to get behind the paint and totally burnt the paint off.
Okay. All right, Brian's going to go ahead and shut down the heat now.